The sunlight streamed through the tall windows of the Harrison mansion as Michael paced nervously around the living room, checking his watch for the third time in 5 minutes. At 35, he had built a successful technology consulting firm, but no amount of business expertise had prepared him for organizing his 6-year-old daughter Sophie's birthday party as a single father. Sophie sat on the carpet arranging her art supplies, her blonde hair catching the morning light as she hummed quietly to herself. Since her mother had passed away from cancer 2 years ago, Michael had thrown himself into learning every aspect of parenting, from braiding hair to planning birthday celebrations. "Daddy, when is the clown coming?" Sophie asked, looking up from her drawing with the excited anticipation that only children possess. "Any minute now, sweetheart." "Are you excited?" "Very excited. I hope she's funny and knows lots of tricks." The doorbell rang, and Michael hurried to answer it, expecting to see the professional children's entertainer he had hired through the party planning service. Instead, he found a young woman in her late 20s wearing a colorful clown costume. That looked slightly worn but well-maintained. Her makeup was expertly applied, transforming her into a cheerful character with rainbow pom-poms adorning her headband. "Mr. Harrison? I'm Lily, your entertainment for today," she said with a bright smile that seemed genuine even beneath the costume makeup. "Perfect timing. Sophie has been looking forward to this all week." As Lily entered the living room, Michael noticed something unexpected. While she maintained the playful energy appropriate for a children's party, there was an intelligence and warmth in her eyes that suggested depth beyond her colorful appearance. "Sophie!" Lily called out in character. "I heard there's a very special birthday girl here who loves art and adventures." Sophie's face lit up immediately. "That's me! I'm 6 today!" For the next hour, Michael watched in amazement as Lily engaged Sophie with activities that seemed perfectly tailored to her interests. She led art projects that encouraged creativity, performed magic tricks that sparked curiosity, and told stories that captured Sophie's imagination completely. What impressed Michael most was how Lily seemed to genuinely connect with Sophie, rather than simply performing a routine. She asked thoughtful questions about Sophie's drawings, listened carefully to her stories, and adapted her activities based on Sophie's responses. "Miss Lily," Sophie said during a quiet moment while they worked on a craft project, "do you have a little girl too?" Lily's smile became more personal for just a moment. "No, sweetie, but I love spending time with wonderful girls like you. Tell me about this beautiful picture you're making." As the party continued, Michael found himself observing Lily with growing curiosity. Her interaction with Sophie revealed someone who understood children deeply, not just as an entertainer, but as someone who genuinely cared about their development and happiness. When the formal party activities concluded, Sophie was reluctant to see Lily leave. "Do you have to go right now?" Sophie asked hopefully. "I'm afraid I do have another party to get to," Lily replied gently. "But I had such a wonderful time with you today." As Lily gathered her supplies, Michael made an impulsive decision. "Lily, would you mind if I walked you to your car? I wanted to thank you properly for making Sophie's day so special." Outside, away from Sophie's hearing, Michael's curiosity got the better of him. "Can I ask you something? You seem to have a natural gift with children. Is entertaining parties your full-time career?" Lily's professional smile became more genuine. "Actually, no. I'm a child development specialist working on my master's degree in early childhood education. I do party entertainment on weekends to help pay for school." Michael felt surprised by this revelation. "That explains why you were so attuned to Sophie's needs. You weren't just entertaining her, you were engaging her developmentally." Children deserve more than just distraction at parties. They deserve activities that recognize their intelligence and creativity. Lily paused, seeming to consider whether to continue. "Your daughter is remarkable, by the way. She's curious, empathetic, and incredibly articulate for her age." "Thank you. It's been challenging raising her alone since my wife died, but Sophie makes it worthwhile every day." Lily's expression softened with understanding. "Single parenting while grieving must be incredibly difficult. You're clearly doing an excellent job." Something about her genuine concern prompted Michael to ask, "Would you be interested in staying for lunch?" Sophie mentioned she wanted to show you her art studio, and honestly, it's rare to meet someone who connects with her so naturally. Lily hesitated, clearly weighing professional boundaries against personal interest. "I don't usually socialize with clients, but Sophie is quite special. If you're sure it's appropriate?" Over lunch, with Lily having changed out of her costume into casual clothes, Michael learned more about her background. She was working toward becoming a child therapist, specializing in helping children process grief and major life transitions. "What drew you to that specialization?" Michael asked as Sophie showed Lily her extensive art collection. "I lost my father when I was 8. I remember how confusing and overwhelming that time was, and how much it helped when adults took the time to really listen to my questions and fears." Michael understood that this wasn't a coincidence. Lily's ability to connect with Sophie went beyond professional training. It came from personal experience with childhood loss. "Sophie," Lily said gently as they looked at Sophie's artwork together, "your pictures tell beautiful stories. Art is a wonderful way to share feelings that are sometimes hard to put into words." Sophie nodded seriously. "Sometimes I draw pictures of Mommy so I won't forget her. That's a beautiful way to remember someone special. Do you think you could show me one of those pictures?" As Sophie ran to get her special drawing box, Michael watched Lily's face and saw not just professional interest but genuine care for his daughter's emotional well-being. 6 months later, Lily had become a regular presence in their lives, not as hired entertainment, but as someone who had grown to care deeply about both Michael and Sophie. Her graduate studies in child development had evolved to include research on helping children maintain healthy relationships with deceased parents. "Lily," Sophie said one afternoon as they worked on a memory book together, "Daddy says you're going to be a doctor who helps kids feel better when they're sad." "That's right. Sometimes children need someone to talk to about big feelings." "Will you still be my friend when you're a doctor?" Lily smiled, glancing at Michael, who was reading nearby. "Sophie, you and your daddy have become very important. To me. That won't change." Michael looked up from his book, understanding that what had begun as professional service had grown into something much more meaningful. Lily hadn't just entertained Sophie at a birthday party. She had brought healing, understanding, and love into their lives when they needed it most. "Lily," Michael said that evening after Sophie had gone to bed, "I need to tell you something. When I hired a clown for Sophie's party, I thought I was just buying entertainment. What did you actually get? I got someone who saw past our polished exterior to understand what we really needed. Someone who could help Sophie process her grief while still allowing her to be a joyful child." Lily understood that sometimes the most profound connections begin with one person's professional service and grow into mutual recognition of shared values and complementary needs. She had come to make a little girl laugh, but she had ended up helping heal a family while discovering her own capacity for love and belonging. The costume and makeup had been just the beginning. The real magic had happened when two people who cared deeply about children found each other and created something beautiful together.